The Dick Cavett Show. Tonight, Dick's guests are Sammy Davis Jr., star of Family Affair, and Nissa Jones, concert pianist Garrick Olson, and Bob Rosengarten and the orchestra. Ladies and gentlemen, Dick Cavett.
Thank you here in the studio and to those at home for letting us into your living rooms and bedrooms, as military intelligence is saying these days. But they get a bigger laugh. Did you know about that, the Army spying? That was shocking yesterday. It said they've actually concealed cameras in people's boudoirs. How would you like to turn up in a training film at Fort Dix? That's terrible. Say, it's a beautiful day in New York. I've kidded about the air in New York a lot, but you can always get a breath of fresh air in New York City. The way you do it is find a car with New England license plates and puncture the tire. Is this Thursday? Yeah, Thursday, right. Gee, we usually get a dreary, dull, dumb-looking audience on Thursday. What a pleasure to see you. Yeah, we do. We often do, for some reason. I don't know why that is. Yesterday was Ash Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. I always, this is not a joke, but I always don't know it's Ash Wednesday and tell someone they have something for it. Because as a kid, I don't remember seeing the people with that. Does anyone know what you call that? The ash that Catholic people put on their forehead on Ash Wednesday? There must be a word for it. Does anyone in the band know? Certainly. What is it? Whatever it is, it certainly slows up a monologue, doesn't it? No, I just have never known what that is called. And yesterday you saw people with the ash on the forehead. It's either, you know that it's a Catholic or Protestant who walk to work in New York, if you see. Well, I'm really glad we digressed on that for about 5 minutes. So you're not supposed to do jokes against women these days, as you know, but today, one of my secretaries, I was trying to find something, and I said to her, "What on earth is your filing system?" And she said, "Once over my nails with an emery board." And I thought, just testing you to see if you're the normal Wednesday audience. Hey, you know what they've done now for our safety? You'll be glad if you're here in New York. They've put marshals on the subways, the way the planes have done. Yeah, because of it's working so far. Not one subway has been hijacked to Havana. Very excited about that. And there's the phone company. It is really ridiculous. It's getting worse. Yesterday, I made several calls. I not only could not get 3 out of 3 numbers that I dialed, but I got an obscene phone call. Obscene phone call that was meant for David Frost. That's what I was. Even without being able to say it, it came out, didn't it? Where were we? New York is an endless supply of humor, though. They are scrapping 50 tugboats. That's in today's paper. They were very old, the tugboats. It's very hard to find a boat anywhere in which the insurance policy includes falling off the edge of the earth. But that's, they found that in several New York. Hey, do you know we're having another baby boom? Yeah. Well, they seem to know it in the balcony. In fact, you can hear it in the balcony. No, there's another, it said the statistics say that there is another baby boom upon us, and that this one started in 1968, which you will remember is the year President Nixon said he was going to bring us together. It was interesting. Who wants to hear a Con Edison joke? Who has one? Con Edison is a joke. They've been defending themselves lately in the paper. They've been saying that all their power failures lately, this is the truth, yesterday's paper, has been an act of God. They're jealous because when he said, "Let there be light," it worked. And, I got one finally. Listen, I better get out of here because we have, as you know, moving right along, we have, I always say that when we aren't moving right along, but Sammy Davis Jr. is here today. He's never been here before, and as you know, he's a singer. Because he's here, we have a singer, a dancer, an actor, a comedian, an impressionist, and an author. Cancel him. We're overbooked. And Anissa Jones from Family Affair, a remarkable young lady whom I have not met but been warned about. And Garrick Olson, who won the Chopin Festival, terrific pianist. So why should I stand out here? Put that lady in the ejector seat. Oh, am I on? I've been on television all this time? Well, let me get this straight. Wait a minute. Your sister doesn't want to come here unless I'm...
Until I find out who's going to be on tonight's show. I got a ticket.
Oh, I see. Okay. You know, under the new pornography laws, I can declare the balcony obscene and have it sent back. Let me introduce someone right now that I've never introduced before. And it's easy to over-introduce him, and it's hard to not over-introduce him, but there's a sense in which all men are created equal, but they certainly didn't get equal amounts of talent. And Sammy Davis got enough for about 20 people. Will you welcome, please, Sammy Davis, Jr. You dress considerably. You make me feel shabby. You make me. Is either of us getting married today?
No, I tell you what happened. In Vegas, Las Vegas, where I just closed, for the first time in about 7 years, I went back to wearing tuxedos for the type of show I wanted to do. And we went back to doing all of the old songs and things because it seems to be that kind of trend. And I figured it would just shake everybody up if I wore it on television.
It did. What's the last time you wore a tuxedo on television?
About between 5 and 7 years.
5 and 7?
Yeah.
That's close enough for me. You're going
It's
to do
my bar
something...
mitzvah suit.
Aw, come on.
Come on.
You going to kid me about being a Gentile now?
No, I don't do them kind of jokes. Man.
Oh, you don't?
No.
But you're doing some of the older numbers.
Yes.
And so you decided to wear a tux in case they're so old they die. Just for... Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, of course.
You want to let me do a number out here and you see if they die on me?
Yeah. Would you take a chance? Take a chance? Okay.
Wait a minute. Before I do it, I must say that I've looked forward to sitting in the chair next to you. I'm a fan, man.
Are you?
I really am. And I watch the show, and I mean that honest to gosh.
Well, if that's true, you can sit in the chair with me. Go ahead. Here we are. Gee, that was good of you to do that, old man.
Terribly decent of you to be so kind to allow me.
Wait a minute, I'm not David Frost. Jeez, you know, I gotta ask you this. Do you ever bomb? I mean, I can't imagine. There are a few entertainers who are so dynamite that just, I've put you in a strange position now because you have to be modest and say sometimes I do, or you have to say, no, I'm perfect. Can I rephrase the question? I
want you to keep the question exactly as it was.
All right.
Of course I have.
You mean...
And I've gone home sick about it. And I've done bad, man, just walked out. Sometimes I do bad when the audience is good. And they've given me a 95, and I didn't earn but a 50. And I feel guilty about it, because I set a level for myself.
No kidding.
That's why after 40 years, it's, you know, it's still fun for me. Because they've got to set a level. You have a level.
Yeah, my level. I've decided early on, though, to set the level quite low. And then I'm seldom disappointed, even though they always are. No, but that's interesting, because I could imagine... I was thinking a comedian, you know, can go out and get absolutely, literally no laughs, not one laugh.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be funny if a singer went out sometime and ended a song on a high note and ta-da, and cut off. Just no applause.
I'll tell you where that happened to me. That happened to me in Osaka.
Osaka, Japan? Or?
In Japan, Osaka,
I assume
Japan.
not Osaka, Nebraska.
And we did a concert, and when you go to Japan, you go to over there to the Orient, you work a kind of a strange thing. You do one night in a big auditorium where 8,000 people come, and it was fantastic, and the kids and everybody came. It was beautiful. The next night, we worked in a nightclub, and it was elderly Japanese people. Now, I had never worked in a nightclub for elderly Japanese people. Somehow, that kind of group just don't come to the Concord. So, I don't know what to expect, but I got Augie and Margot on the bill, dance team, well known, and they walked out on the stage, it's true, walked out on the stage, and they came off in 4 minutes. I went, what are they? He said, they're murder. That's what Augie said, they're murder. He said, so I cut one number out, because they only did 12 minutes, right? And there was one big Spanish thing that they did. So I said, what, murder? We've been over here for a week and a half, and everybody loves us. I walked out, and it was complete silence. Now, those were the days that I didn't feel as secure as I feel about my career, about where my head was, you know. So, I went out and did all that old black magic. Yeah, well, gee whiz, I don't know. I do have the impressions. All right, you guys up against the wall. How about, you dirty rat, you're gonna get it. Dancing, playing the drums, the vibes, everything at the end. And they nursed it, rehearsed it, gave out the news, and the Southland gave birth one more time. Wow, 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 wow. And I've never been so, I didn't know what to do.
You mean it's happened the night...
I walked off the stage, and the man who owned the club, a very nice man, came back. He says, you are a very big hit. I swear to you.
You mean because they didn't attack? He assumed that you were...
No, he meant that they never applaud for anybody, but the word of mouth as the people were leaving was good. And they were all elderly, rich Japanese men who come with their chicks, you know. So they don't want to raise up a lot of fuss applauding.
Saving energy.
They may cause a ruckus and somebody will recognize them, you know. But that's a true story. It was so bad, George Rhodes can tell you that it's true. My conductor could tell you it's a $5 fine for anybody in my group to mention Osaka.
Oh, I'm going to remember that. That's wonderful. We have a message, and we'll be right back. I only have a minute here. That's why I'm filling it.
Okay.
When you've been in this business as long as I have, you'll know how to fill a minute with... We have to... most amusing, Mr. Davis. We're going to take a station break, and we'll be right back. That was Richard Lou. We'll be right back, yes.
Peace and love. Oh, I thought that was peace and love. I didn't know.
Man giving signals there. That always makes me nervous when they count you down. I mean, I figure just let it happen.
That's it.
Yeah. You don't waste a second. I noticed that little break we had there, you were... Do you still drive yourself to the brink of exhaustion or over the brink, or do you stop just this side of the brink?
No, I still like having fun. I still like doing nutty things like that, but I'm 45, and I've been married almost a year, and I've been in the hospital 4 times. Because my wife is 25, that's why I've been in the hospital 4 times. No, seriously, I love working. I love to work. But I found that in the last couple of years, in the last year particularly, I have contained the offstage activity. So that when you're coming here to do this show, get your thing together, man, so that you can do it and have fun doing it. Yeah. But when I leave here, and I go back to the solitude of our private lives, whether it be in a hotel or a house, then I relax. I love to relax.
But that's a change for you, isn't it? You used to be on when you were off as well as when you were
all
on.
The time. All the time.
I wonder what changes in you. Does it have to do with age?
I think that has a lot to do with it. The steps get a little steeper. The notes get a little harder to hit. Yeah. And you need rest. The truth of the matter is, I've been ill a couple of times in the last year and a half, seriously ill, and I mean kind of close for me, and close to the point that it looked like I'd have to take 2 or 3 years off to rest.
From work, from overwork?
From overwork.
Yeah.
And I've also got a good cat who is my partner, Simosh, who takes care of things for me. And he's been with me. We've been together now. We've been friends for 15, 16 years, but...
How long have you known each other?
Oh, about a week. No, he was the man that fought for me to get me on television. You know, he fought for me to get me dramatic shows on television. Yeah. And he's a good friend, but he's also a good business manager, a good business partner. And when he joined me, he got me my first vacation that I had had in about 6 years. Mm. That was the first thing he accomplished.
You
and
must
also
have forgotten
got my debts paid up, you know.
Your debts?
Yep.
Are you bad with money?
No, I think I'm pretty good with it.
That's the problem.
Yeah, I go like a sailor. Whoopee!
You know what money's for, then. I see. But it's fairy money, really, isn't it, in show business, as the English say?
Yeah, I guess
the English can get away with saying it's fairy money, but... Now, I've heard the English use that expression, it's fairy gold that you make in show business. It vanishes at the touch of the fingers.
Well, I think there's a realization that comes. I think that a man, any man, proportionately to what he makes should be allowed. If it's a cat that's a construction cat and he makes $10,000 a year, I think he needs to blow $100 just on something stupid and dumb. Just a good time. Whoopee! Yeah. Just good time. I think if I make $2.5 million, I'm entitled to blow maybe $5,000–$10,000 out of the year. Just blow it. I mean, if I feel like just going whoopee out the window.
Yeah. Well, where are you going to do that next? A lot of us.
But I don't think you have a right to deny your family or the personal needs. I don't think you should be in debt up to your ears, which I was. You know, I make no bones about it, man. I'm not, nor am I proud about it.
Yeah.
But I do feel that there's a happy medium that you can reach and keep your family secure and live in a style that you like and do the things you want to do without worrying. If I don't work tomorrow, man, I'll be on welfare. You know.
Wow.
And I was at that point one time. That's why I work
amazing.
so much.
People can't believe that, you know. They think, another thing people can't believe is when someone appears on a show like this and they say, they'll do a joke about working for scale or something like that, and people think, I'd be willing to spend one night for $265 or $320 or whatever it is. It's hard for them to believe that that actually can be meaningless money to someone who has enormous taxes, enormous financial problems and all. You know, and they always think that they get a kind of, but it's true. It is true.
It is true.
Yeah. Why is it that some people are born able to imitate Humphrey Bogart and others are not? It isn't fair. It isn't. I have always thought that it would be.
I don't know. I was like, I'm a lucky cat. You know, I've been lucky all my life. You know, because I wanted to do impersonations. When I came out of the Army in the 40s, I had the good fortune of hanging around Hanson's when it was open, and Will Jordan and Larry Storch and Dick Wesson, and all those guys were working the theaters up and down the street. And they taught me. We would sit there in the afternoon, and I would start to do something, and all of the impressionists would hang out on the corner. And I'd say, hey, I got one. I think I got one. I think I finally got Jimmy Stewart. And you know, and Will or Larry Storch would say, no, you haven't got it, man. That is no. It's got to be up here. You got it too low. And when you do it, you got to have a sort of a draw behind it. So that it disappears in here. And then you realize, hey, man, all of the exciting cats, you know, I love Elliot Gould. I cannot impersonate him. So I figured...
I never heard anyone do Elliot Gould.
I don't think you're gonna.
I don't think I am either.
Because it's hard to do, because we've gone to the natural.
Yeah.
And, you know, I defy someone to imitate the man that played Joe.
In the movie.
In the movie. Yeah. Because he's so natural, he's so us, that it becomes almost impossible. But yet and still there are guys today who who really swing with impressions, you know. Frank Gorshin scares you to death, you know, and many other cats around.
Is it true that you do Olivier? I've never heard anyone do Olivier.
Of course I do Olivier.
You do Olivier?
Yes.
Really?
Well, what would you like to hear me do from Olivier?
A couple acts from King Lear would be nice.
Well, he only did Lear once. How about Richard III?
I'll settle for Dick III.
Okay.
Now is the winter of our discontent, made glorious summer in this son of York. Since I cannot, by rightful claim, my way to the throne, I shall hack and hew my way instead.
Oh, that's great. That's not how I do it, but that is. That is, he did that very strange voice when he did. A lot of people criticized him for that. They thought it was too caricatured for the role.
But he does it all because he felt. Sir Lawrence told me that he felt that with the humpback, that he wanted to have
A voice that was in here.
Yeah.
And when he did Hamlet, because Hamlet is so fey, he did another thing. Speak the speech, I pray you, as I pronounced it to you, trippingly on the tongue. But if you mouth it, as many of your players do, I leave very fey here. Yeah. Which is what an impressionist has to catch. You know?
I could listen to impressions for days on end without being bored by them. I just love them.
How about my Willie Bess?
How does your Willie Bess stack up to other Willie Besses?
Do you know who Willie Bess was, Dick?
Willie Bess? No, not exactly. I knew most of the Bess family, but Willie, you know, was a retiring
Willie Bess
type.
was the black comedian who did the things in the old days, which I guess some people would say was Uncle Tom, but I considered him a character actor. So to me, if I can do Cagney, I can do Willie Bess. He was a cat with Bob Hope in the Ghostbreakers, who mumbled. Remember the
movie, The Ghostbreakers?
When he says, I don't know what they're doing around here. I'm around here in this room. Around here with the body. I do a good Willie Bess.
That's amazing. To go from Sir Laurence Olivier to Willie Bess must hurt. It must wrench you. We'll be right back.
With Bob Hope in the Ghostbreakers, who mumbled. Remember the
movie, The Ghostbreakers?
When he says, I don't know what they're doing around here. I'm around here in this room. Around here with the body. I do a good Willie Bess.
That's amazing. To go from Sir Laurence Olivier to Willie Bess must hurt. It must wrench you. We'll be right back. So you did. I did Richard Lou recently on the show, so I guess it's too early to do it again. That's my one impression that I can knock people out with, Richard Lou. And it's such a shame.
Which picture do you do it?
I usually do the Purple Heart.
Purple Heart?
That.
Oh, yes, I love that.
Dana Andrews and Richard Lou, and I'd love to get them both on some night and see what but the Purple Heart was a good one.
Do you know that he really went through a real traumatic experience because after the war, having played all of those heavies,
yeah.
He opened up a restaurant. He opened up first a clothing store, then he opened up a restaurant in Hollywood. And people would come in, and after the war was over, and he got so many, it started out jokingly, and he got so many of this, that he really almost had a nervous breakdown.
Because he represented the villain for so many years.
Represented the villain.
Yeah.
And he got tired of people going, Yankee dog, you die, you know. Yeah. Oh, UCLA, I went, UCLA, whatever it is, you know.
Yes.
And I heard this from a good friend. Now, I don't know if it's true, because I've met him several times, but he never told me a story, but I heard it from someone. If it's true, it's a pretty sad state of affairs. You know?
Yeah, really. I can believe it, because you can imagine, they get the same things said to you over and over. Jack Benny, I was in an elevator once one time, and within 5 floors, somebody said, is it true you have a Maxwell? Somebody else said, is it true you're 39? Somebody else said, do you really play the violin? You must just get numb, finally. What do they say to you? Is it true that?
Are you really Jewish?
Is that what it is?
Yeah. That's most of it, for me.
Yeah.
In fact, that's really predominantly. Until I went to Israel. When I went to Israel, and the press, I must say, was very kind about the trip, and they didn't try to do any zips or zaps. And I went over to entertain the soldiers and appear at hospital. And I did one benefit with which Moishe Dayan, General Dayan, was kind enough to sponsor, for all the proceeds going to the veterans. But after that, it was cool. I don't get it as much now. But I used to get it all the time because every performer, including myself, joked about it. So that people thought that it was not true.
Yeah. But you really must have had those jokes up to here, or even higher, probably.
Probably.
Yeah. Could you spend a week in a cabin in the mountains alone and not go berserk, or do you need the audience after a few days?
No. I need my old lady, man.
Yeah.
That's all I need. I just need my old lady.
Your wife?
My wife, yes.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting.
We must have respect for women these days.
No, I say that with the most affection. That's a show business terminology. Hey, man, I'm going to go pick up my old lady. And we don't mean that in terms of old or disrespectfully at all. We mean that like we say in show business, I know you say it, hey, well, the kids are going to meet later. We don't mean their children. We mean that as show business affection. My wife, if I was with my wife, I could be any place for any amount of time, wouldn't miss the audience, television, or anything else.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Gee, must be some old lady. What does a guy say who's actually married to an old lady? Does he say, I'm going to pick up the kid, or what? I don't. Would your wife care to be seen? Oh, she's going, no, no, no.
That's my wife right there.
Well, wait a minute. I won't embarrass her. I'll just... one of the people in this area of the audience is Mrs. Davis, Jr. I mean, she doesn't want to be identified, so I thought I would... How are you? I thought I did that discreetly.
I thought you were
think?
marvelous. I love show business.
I know that it's hard to believe. Oh, how about that? They're raiding something nearby. Can you hear that?
Oh, wow.
That always happens when some elderly actress is on doing a reading from something. The siren goes off like that. Say, would you do another thing for us? I don't like to put a performer on the spot, but it's so seldom that we get you here. And we did build that stool, and we built that microphone.
Of course I will. Be my... Can we do something kind of now? We did some old songs. Let's do something now, okay?
Something today.
Yeah.
All right.
Now the curtain rises on Samson and Delilah, starring Victor Mature as Samson and Hedy Lamarr as Delilah. 1,000 years before Christ, in the village of Zorah in the land of Dan, lived a man named Samson. There was greatness in him and weakness, strength and folly. But with these was a bold dream of liberty for his people, held in bondage by the Philistines for 40 years. It is written in the Bible, in the book of Judges, that Samson left his village and went down to Timnath, and saw a woman in Timnath, the daughters of the Philistines, and then returned to Zorah, to the house of his parents.
The goats and the sheep can wander and be lost. Samson, my son, must journey to Timnath.
My mother has more spies than the master of the Philistines. Yes, more than the Saran himself.
Brawling through the streets, drinking and dice-throwing with our enemies.
I was learning their ways, little mother.
You do better to learn the ways of the Lord. You're the leader of Dan, chosen judge of your people.
And what else have you discovered?
That you would marry a daughter of our enemies, a Philistine woman.
Yes,
Oh,
it is
why
so.
can't you be like our neighbor's sons, content to choose a wife from your own village, instead of acting like a stubborn, witless ox?
And you would harness this angel to a stubborn, witless ox? No, a man must marry where his heart leads him.
A man's heart can be blind.
Samson, where is he? Samson!
I'm here, Father.
Here, yes, when you should have been in the village. Philistine soldiers at the well of Zorah, beating our people, mocking our God.
I will go to the village.
No. Save your strength, Samson.
Miriam.
The soldiers have gone. The trouble is past.
Stay with him, Miriam. Ask him to tell you what he's just told to me.
What terrible thing have you done this time, Samson?
Miriam, look at me. You're farther above me than the moon, Miriam.
But not as hard to reach. Only stretch out your hand.
Well, I don't want to hurt you, Miriam. You're like a sparrow, so gentle and so kind.
Shall I say it for you, Samson? You love another woman. A woman of Timnath.
Yes. I can't forget her.
It is the same with me. I cannot forget you. Leave me now and go to your father.
A Philistine. Marriage with a Philistine? No. My son would not bring this shame upon us.
Her name is Semidar, father. I ask that you go to her father, Tubal, and tell him I will take his daughter to wife.
This woman, it has come to me that someone else seeks her too.
Atur, the military governor of Dan.
You know this, and you still desire her?
But
Atur is a lord among the Philistines.
He doesn't frighten me.
Samson, wait. Where do you go?
Back to Timnath, to Semidar.
And Samson went to Timnath, to the house of Tubal. And in the garden he saw the two daughters of Tubal. And one was Semidar, and one was Delilah. In the hand of Semidar was a spear, for on that day there would be a lion hunt, and Semidar would be among the hunters. And Samson beheld her hurling the spear, while on a low wall her sister Delilah sat watching her, and eating the fruit of a plum tree. Great was Semidar's surprise upon seeing Samson.
Samson, have you lost your senses?
I told you I'd be back, Semidar.
A hunting party will be here. The Saran himself is coming from Gaza.
Oh, I came to help him kill the lion.
You'd rather help the lion kill the Saran.
Not until he gives permission for our marriage.
You have lost your senses.
And my heart.
I have been promised to Lord Atur. Even now he is in the house with my father.
Then I shall tell Lord Atur that you're...
You speak my name? Who are you?
Atur.
Or do I know you? Oh, yes. There's only one Danite fool enough to climb that wall.
The governor of Dan has a hunter's eye. I just told Semidar
Yes,
that...
I heard you. You will hunt in my chariot, Semidar.
Samson thinks he can help us kill the lion.
A judge of shepherds? We're very grateful.
A shepherd needs to know more about lions than a king. His life depends on it.
A shepherd obeys the law. His life depends upon that. And the first law your fathers learned was to bow before Philistine spears.
You like to have people bow to the might of spears. I like to have spears bow to people.
Atur, look! The spear, it bends in his hand like a reed in the wind.
I have heard of the Danite's strength. He destroys a weapon that he lacks the skill to use.
Perhaps Semidar will teach me after our marriage.
Marriage? Your humor's even greater than your strength. Your master approaches, Samson.
Perhaps he will see me then.
The judge of Dan would do well to leave and seek a bride in other pastures. Come, Semidar.
I don't like Atur either. If you'd kill the lion, Samson, they would call you great.
I can bend their spears, but I can't outrun their horses.
I could get you there first. We have stables.
What's your price?
Take me with you.
You're a bold little monkey. What's your name?
Delilah.
Come then, Delilah. Show me your father's stable.
Faster, Samson, faster!
Hold tight to the railing.
I'll hold tight to you.
Be careful, you'll fall out.
No, I won't. Semidar doesn't love your strength as I do. I'd love to feel the power of your arms.
I'd rather feel a wildcat on my back.
Will you tame me, Samson?
I'll use you for lion bait.
I don't see any lion.
There on the rocks, beyond the cave.
Ah! Samson!
You're more trouble than the lion.
I'm afraid.
Get up on that rock there and don't move.
Oh, look out!
God will give me strength. Just stay on the rock.
And in the book of Judges it is said that Samson came to the vineyards of Timnath, and behold, a young lion roared against him. And the Spirit of the Lord came mightily upon him, and he rent him as he would have rent a kid, but he had nothing in his hand.
You killed him with your hands. Oh, Samson.
One cat at a time. What's the matter with you?
I love you. That's what's the matter with me. I love you. The Saran!
I came from Zora to see the Saran. I will see him here.
Delilah!
Who is this girl?
My sister, Lord Saran. I do not know how she came here with this...
Danite, isn't he? Or perhaps this little blossom from Tubal's garden can enlighten us.
Oh, yes, Majesty, I can. Samson killed a lion with his bare hands. Never has there been such power in any man.
So you are Samson, the troublemaker.
The Saran knows me.
But no good of you. You say he used no weapon?
Just his 2 hands, Lord Saran. He was magnificent. Only a god could do what he did.
Well, Danite, you have one worshipper. Arthur, examine the beast. Find me the mark of the spear.
Look, there is no blood.
The wound must be on the other side.
Turn him over. Still warm. The body's warm.
There is no mark upon the skin, my lord.
I said there wasn't.
Would you have us believe the beast dropped dead from fright?
What you believe is your own affair. The girl spoke the truth.
I should like to see this strength. Garmiska.
My lord Saran.
Listen well, Samson. Of all men, behold the mightiest. Now, say that you lie.
I spoke the truth.
Garmiska, break this boaster's bones.
I have no quarrel with your warrior. This man has done me no harm.
Fight him, Samson. Fight him!
Like all boasters, the Danite is a coward. My whip, Garmiska. Here, let him feel my whip.
Then did the giant Garmiska raise the lash, whereupon Samson did seize him. Over his head he held the warrior and dashed him to the ground.
The hunter's prize is yours. Take my ring, Danite.
I would like to name my own prize, Saran.
What would you have? My throne?
A Philistine bride.
If it takes a pretty face to bind you to me, your request is granted.
I take the woman Semidar.
My lord, Semidar is promised to me.
I have given my word. She is yours, Danite. Go now to the woman.
My lord, I beg you.
There are other women, Arthur. Look, the sister's beauty is even greater. Could she be jealous of Semidar?
My lord, is it wise to have this mad dog in our city?
In our city, he may be tamed.
If I may speak, Lord Saran, Samson could make no trouble if Arthur brought his warriors to the wedding feast.
The girl has the wisdom of a serpent. Take her home, Arthur, and summon your warriors.